In today's video, we have an amazing new Legends League attack strategy. It is going to be Root Riders with throwers on this one. This attack strategy has been dominating Legends. We're seeing a lot of the top pushers use this army. We're going to break it down for you to see how you guys can use it, explain the attacks, get the breakdowns in, make sure you use it to absolute perfection so you can get those 3 stars in Legends. So let's jump right into it. So the army composition for this attack strategy is as following: 2 ice golems, 1 apprentice warden, 4 root riders, 2 throwers, 5 healers, 3 balloons, 4 rocket loons, 5 super barbarians, and then 2 headhunters, and you can take whatever else you'd like. For the spells, it's 6 invisibility, 1 recall, 1 totem, and 1 overgrowth. And for your clan castle, it's 2 yetis, 3 regular balloons. You want to take a troop launcher, a skelly, a poison, and a rage as well in your CC. And anything else is optional. For the Barbarian King, it's Phoenix, Stick Horse, and Giant Gauntlet. For the Archer Queen, it's Sneezy, Giant Arrow, and Action Figure. For the Grand Warden, it's Diggy, Eternal Tome, and Red Gem. And for the Royal Champion, it's Fox, Electro Boots, and Rocket Spear. The link to this army will be down in the description below. Let's jump into some attacks. Okay, so we are going to be coming on in with the RC charge routes with the throwers in this one. It's a very strong army, and as you can see, I saw this base right here. I am attacking in Legends right there, and I was looking, what would be a good place to RC charge right here? And of course, there's only one real option. Well, there's 2. It's either this rage tower or this rage tower, because nobody really baits RC charges that much anymore, because not a lot of people use them. So I send my Royal Champion into this red tower, of course using the Fox cycle, which is going to be absolutely key right here. Want to make sure to keep my Royal Champion and also keep this Fox alive and get as much value as I possibly can. I wanted to get this multi-inferno down at the very least right here, so that I can have pathing for the root riders when they do end up coming on in. But I ended up getting so much more value. I ended up getting the recoil cannon. I'm not sure if I got the Super Wizard Tower. I think I did actually get the Super Wizard Tower as well, which is absolutely massive right there. Get that recall in. Unfortunately, I don't think I got the Fox on this one, or maybe I did, but a rule of thumb is you want to ensure that you try to keep your Fox alive to the best of your ability. So basically now, I've cleared out this whole section. Of course, there's no defenses over there where the Giga Bomb is. So that means that the root riders are going to take a straight narrow path into this rage tower compartment, especially once I deploy them from the 6 o'clock side of the base, right? So here come those root riders. Coco Loons in first. Then I'm going to drop my healers, my warden, my apprentice warden in that order. And then the Royal Champion comes in for that little bit of support with the Electro Boots as well. So I end up dropping my Queen on this mortar right here, because I'm going to send my King into the Multi-Inferno and take out this Fire Spitter, because it is going to be raining down shots on top of my Root Riders, which is something that I really don't want. And of course, I've got that Stick Horse so you can jump over the wall. I popped this Warden ability through this Rage Tower to negate any damage right there, which was absolutely perfect. Throwers are dealing with the King. My King takes out that compartment that I wanted him to, and that forces all of my roots to go in towards this Town Hall compartment. The King's gonna carry on pushing on forward. I use the Overgrowth right here to basically just cover this Fire Spitter, because I didn't want it doing extra damage on top of my troops, right? So an Overgrowth there, but you can use your Overgrowth to like redirect your root riders. You can of course use it somewhere else to negate massive damage, but right here the Expo and this Fire Spitter and the multi-archer tower, of course it was the most damage, and the Fire Spitter can absolutely shred through root riders. So I wanted to keep that submerged under the Overgrowth for as long as possible, because now my troops can come around and they will not be attacked by this Fire Spitter whatsoever. Of course, the Royal Champion still alive, still have my super barbs, my archers, all my cleanup, and this base was absolutely smoked right here. As you can see, plenty of root riders still alive. I've got every single hero still alive right here, and I don't think I realistically lost that much troops whatsoever. But don't you worry guys, these attacks sometimes can get a little bit closer, but the one thing that I do like is that sometimes if your root riders die, you have got those throwers that can do a ton of damage, especially with the healers and the warden if he stays alive. So that's another key factor, keeping the warden alive, right? But of course, like the Queen as well is super strong. So like you have so many potentials to 3-star, which is absolutely perfect. So right here, I made a mistake, and you're going to see very quickly what I ended up doing, right? So I sent my RC in from this 2 o'clock side of the base. I took way too much damage, found a double giant bomb. Also found that scatter, which took a shot, and then my RC is low and she forced her ability right here. My Fox died as well. So like I was saying, you want to keep your Fox alive. Unfortunately, my Fox died and my RC almost died as well. But I ended up using up her long shots just to make the funnel because I wanted to get that fire spitter down. Also got that Tesla down. There goes the recall spell. Now, I was looking at the base, I'm thinking, how am I going to get into the core? So if I start my roots in from the 3 o'clock side, I can drop my queen over at the 6 o'clock side, activate that invis tower, and then use my king and queen to funnel from the 6 to force everything up in towards this town hall area. Because this was, at this point, it was recovery mode, and the giant arrow comes, activates that invis tower, absolutely perfect. Send my king and a couple of rocket loons in to force my king to go up right here. But one thing I did realize relatively quickly is that the root riders were working a lot more quicker than the heroes were working right here, because the queen veered off to the right hand side of the base, and I knew once these root riders got towards this archer tower, they would go up towards the builder hut. So I had to use my overgrowth, pop the warden ability, pop the rage spell right there in the middle, using an invis trying to keep everything alive. So I had to use the overgrowth right here, as I mentioned earlier, just to basically redirect my troops to make sure that they were going into the middle, picking off this town hall. So at the very least, even if I was to fail, it wouldn't be a 1-star, right? But the great thing right here is that those throwers, because we're taking throwers instead of Valkyries right here, so the throwers actually sit back whilst the root riders soak up everything right there. The king did some great work at the 6 o'clock side, working his way up. Of course, couldn't take down the fire spitter because I did have that overgrowth on it, but the throwers are going to help right here exponentially, as they're going to take down these defenses. I've got the healers still alive, a couple of ice golems that are pushing with the queen, and there's not really too much left on the base. The only thing that's scary is the multi-gear tower and this monolith, right? But the multi-gear went down relatively easily. I've got plenty of tanking in front of the queen, so that came in very clutch. I have no idea how my ice golem survived all the way from 3 o'clock, by the way, to come all the way and pop at the end. But a little bit of luck is completely fine. The queen manages to clear it up, so even with making mistakes, you can still recover as long as you use your overgrowth and your heroes correctly. This base, okay. So this base was an absolute nightmare for me when I used to use throwers in Legends. I had so many issues with it because it's so compact. But now I was using root riders with the RC charge. So I saw something and I wanted to try it, and honestly it worked amazing. So normally if you see a double rage tower comp, you want to try to take out one of these rage towers, right? And the great thing about this base is it has these 4 defenses. And then if you were to invis these 4, the RC goes directly over here and it stays in between the lines of the bomb hive, so the bomb hive isn't going to do any damage to your royal champion. So I invis those 4 defenses. The RC goes directly in towards this compartment, exactly where I wanted her to go. I think I invis a little bit aggressively right here because that monolith absolutely obliterated my royal champion, and I was very scared at this point. So I wanted to get the value. I knew I had to get this rage tower down if I wanted to 3-star this base, otherwise it's going to be very problematic. And of course they have that lava hound, well, the ice hound rather, in the CC. So there we go, I got that rage tower and I got out of there instantly. So we have taken a nice little square out of the base right here, which is absolutely perfect. Now I can send my root riders into this wizard tower and I can use my overgrowth to kind of force then the root riders into this bomb hive, because it is going to be punishing my troops. So I use a couple of wall breakers right there just to give a little bit of an opening in case the throwers wanted to split off, so at least I could like make them go one way, which was completely fine. But of course the root riders opened the wall, so I didn't have to. So I had to pop my queen ability early here because like it was going to be awkward to do the giant arrow regardless. And I wanted to send my queen with the root riders right here. There was no need to send her from 9 or from 6 because there's not really defenses there, it's just collectors and the roots aren't going to target them. So that's why I sent a baby dragon from 9 o'clock right here. And now this is the key point, sending my king in towards this compartment, picking up these 2 bomb towers, trying to get this multi, these 2 double expos. It kind of forces my root riders to stay in. So I overgrowth the back end fire spitter. I got the rage tower as well, which is absolutely perfect right here. So it forces all of my troops to go into this bomb hive very quickly. King did his job absolutely perfectly right here, and we were able to really power through this core very efficiently, even with all the damage, with the assistance of the king. Obviously the RC still alive, the action figure doing work, the ice golems freezing at the perfect time, and everything just got taken out very quickly right here in the middle of the base. Of course my RC, you know, even though like she got monster value, she continued to power on through, still have root riders still alive. So the main reason that I was able to 3-star right here was because of utilizing the king correctly, having that overgrowth and negate so much damage to have my root riders push in towards that bomb hive very, very early on. And this helped me 3-star this base relatively easily, when normally I would struggle on this base because it is an anti-thrower. But we've got one more attack strategy. Let's jump right into it. So right here is the final base attack that we're gonna showcase right here on how to use the RC charge root riders. Now, I was looking at this base and I was like, okay, so this is a little bit interesting. It's kind of symmetrical, kind of not, because of this offset compartment. But more often than not, I want to rule of thumb, come in between the lines of the bomb hive, and I saw that this monolith was relatively easy. So I can drop my RC over on the mortar, take out a couple of these defenses, and if I was worried that it would go to the bomb tower, I can always just invis it and redirect my RC directly over towards this monolith compartment. Utilizing my invis spells right here, of course the RC aura does do some amazing damage on those defenses. I use the invis for the bomb tower right there. RC steps into the monolith. I actually invis the monolith on this one so that I can pick off this multi and also this builder hut a little bit quicker right there. And there we have it, the monolith went down. So essentially right here, I already have the value that I needed from the royal champion. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit more damage to this clan castle, you know, soften it up just a little bit so that I didn't have to deal with it too much. So I managed to kill all the rocket loons, kill one ice golem. Only thing I have left is one ice golem, which isn't going to be too hard. Sometimes, you know, it's worth it. So I send a super barb over at the 9 o'clock side, kind of to lower it away over on that side. And then I'm going to bring my root riders in towards this bomb tower so they can kind of go to the air defense, the arch tower, and then push down onto the base, because the archer queen is going to come on in from the wizard tower to kind of set a little bit of a funnel to force these root riders in towards this scattershot compartment, which is going to be really, really nice. And also now, of course, because these root riders target defenses, it's perfectly fine, right? So you can kind of control the pathing. So again, overgrowth on the revenge tower this time and on the bomb hive. Now what else I did right here was deploy my king at the 2 o'clock side of the base because of the archer queen, and I can also get down this recoil cannon and this super wizard tower, and it kind of keeps the pathing nice, narrow, compact for basically everything to push on in. And then this was what was absolutely fantastic, right? My king stepping into this town hall compartment right there, absolutely dunking on these heroes with the assistance of the royal champion. I use some rocket loons for the super wizard tower at the bottom side. My root riders and my yetis are pushing on through. This revenge tower, of course, is doing a lot of damage, but the root riders open up that wall. I still have throwers behind my root riders right here that are pushing on through as well. I still have the super barbarians that I could use, and I think I use them over to clear out this Tesla farm on the back end because, you know, just to clean up a little bit quicker. But again, you can see the power of these root riders, man. If you use them correctly, they can 3-star almost anything. Even if you mess up just a little bit, you need to keep on pushing. Like, they can push through with a good warden ability, using that good RC charge in between the lines of the bomb hive. You're gonna manage to pick off those very, very toxic bases, and this is exactly how you need to use it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Don't forget to use code BLUE in the item shop for any in-game purchases, as it helps us make the best possible videos for you guys, bringing you these guides, bringing you the bases and all of that good stuff that you require. But anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.